Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to get into a couple things today, just kind of showing you what has happened while I was gone. We've had some good things happen and some bad things. Amy's kind of been taking care of the room while I was gone, and she had some good news for me and then obviously some bad news. So I will show you guys and we can get into it. Let's go. So first off, let's get into these guys. They've been doing real well. These are the pygmy sunfish. There's two males right there. They are actually starting to color up a little bit, even though they're just babies. Their tank's tiny, but we're going to change that. This is like a 3-gallon cube. I'm going to end up putting them in outside, actually. So these guys are doing real well. I threw the female in that was getting attacked in the other one, and she bred with Lucky. And now they have eggs in the corner. I don't know if we can get a good visual of those. You can see them kind of sticking up there on that leaf. There it is. She's protecting them. He's defending the area. They would make some cool babies. So I might have to switch these two out with the male that's in that tank, and they can be a breeding pair. But one thing that I did have to do, and I don't know where she is. Oh, she's in the back. She's probably all scared. Poor girl. So you can see the female. You can barely see her. See how her top fin's missing and her tail's missing? So we didn't notice, but the girlfriend, Amy, came down. And this asshole bit her fins off. Oh, there's still a baby in there. And he's been attacking the babies. I don't know if you can actually see that, but that baby is missing its bottom fins. So he's been attacking. Not sure why. I mean, it's a cichlid. It's bound to happen. Maybe he just had enough. Too many babies, too many things going on. So I had to pull her out, put her somewhere else. As for the baby, I'm gonna pull that one out as soon as I'm done this video. I've had to separate them all. I pulled all of them out and I actually put them in this tub just temporarily. See them all on the bottom there. Don't ask why the water is green. Well, you can, it's from that tank. They're totally fine with green water, guys. You can see her, see what he did to her by the time I got home. And they were a great pair, spawned 3 or 4 times, never had an issue. And then all of a sudden he did that to her. This is the culprit down here. Why'd you do that? The super red bristle nose are getting bigger now. So they're almost at a sellable size. We'll be able to sell you guys some of those. Looks like the honeycomb plecos are still doing well. No complaints with them. All of the baby angels are doing real well. I think I might take them to the store this weekend, and we'll see if we can get rid of them for a decent price. Also still, so I tried to get rid of the yellow shrimp in here. That did not work. It seems like they've just proliferated, so that's fun. And then the super reds are still doing good. They're growing up. So I know this tank looks kind of gross and it's got a whole bunch of diatom algae everywhere, but that's good for these fish because they eat that stuff. I will be cleaning it up, but I can't right now because we got hit with planaria. So I got to add another dose today. What we're using is no planaria, just off Amazon. It's not very cheap, but it's lasted quite a while, and I've had to dose a couple tanks with it. It just seems to be spreading. Probably off spawning mops. I don't know. This probably spread off the plants because I took them from another tank, is what I'm thinking. And just probably overfeeding gets them going, right? So we have these feeders. They always dump food at the top. That's probably why they're sitting here just waiting. But anyways, so something exciting happened here. While I was gone, you got some babies. So these look older. So they were probably around last time I was home. But anyways, we counted about 6. There's probably more just hanging out. best visual of them. But they're doing real well. Mini stingrays. Oh, there's another one. So there's quite a bit in here. So that's very exciting. Just another one slipped by there. Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. So very happy to see that. Another fish bred. So hopefully these guys keep breeding and we can get a whole bunch of them and start selling them. And these things are awesome. I just love the little stingrays. Nothing like a bunch of Tiger Hill Stream loaches running around your tank. So another cool thing that happened, the rainbow shiners have bred for me. So they've been going over these rocks, dumping it in there. I've been pulling that out and putting it in here. Unfortunately, there's snails and a couple other things in the little basket that I've been catching them in. So I've tried to hide them in the spawning mops so that maybe it gives them more of a chance to hatch out before getting eaten if the snails get lost inside the spawning mops. That's kind of my idea for it. But very excited that they're breeding. Next time I'll just suck out the eggs with a pipette and put it into a container that's clean, no snails. It's very warm in here. I've been monitoring the temperature. I'm going to get a air conditioner. We actually got one before I left and I set it up in here to try to keep it under 26 degrees in here, because then your water levels in your room will be about 3 degrees cooler, just because the trougodiids do not like warm water. So you need to keep it low or they will die. They're a cold water fish, or a cooler water fish, I should say. So in the back there, you can see the Raichovies that we bred, sorry. So that's the male there. Can't really get a good visual. Camera's not adjusting properly, but there was a female there too. You have a male and female out of 40 of them though, so not amazing. The rainbows want to be in the image. Just starting to get his colors. So everything's doing real well in here. We got some orange lyre tails growing up. Someone said they might come pick some up. There's a female. That's a male down there. And then that's a red stripe killie. Bunch of different kinds of killifish in here. Doing well. All the different killifish are doing well in here. There's a pygmy Cory that we bred. Completely by accident. It was just in a community tank and it was on the egg must have been on a spawning mop, so that's cool. We got some rainbows in here. They're doing real well. A couple killifish as well. Babies in all the tanks. So something exciting, while I was gone, I put, I don't know if you saw the last video, but I put black pearl killifish inside of a tub and hatched out a whole bunch. We got about 40 eggs or something like that hatched out. And then I put them in here because I wanted to make sure they were getting food. And when I came home, I pulled out about 8 of them. So we got 8 black pearl killifish. I don't know if I can get a visual of it for you guys. Probably not. There's one in the back there though. They're kind of all over the place. They come out when you give them brine shrimp. They're probably hiding up top as well. But there's a whole bunch of babies. They're eating brine shrimp now, so they're at a good size. And shouldn't be a hard time. I mean, it's a little tank, but we'll just keep doing water changes. Just take a cup out, put a cup in. Should be all right. We got a whole bunch of eggs. And then I did something interesting. So I wanted to start feeding fairy shrimp to my babies. So I bought some eggs and I hatched it out in that glass container and I threw them in here after they hatched. So they should get pretty big and hopefully we can make a live food culture for the for feeding the fish, but we'll see how it goes. I've never done the fairy shrimp before, so we'll give her a go. orange lyre tails in this one are doing real well. They're breeding. I keep pulling eggs out. So I'm pretty happy about that. So we got something real cool. So we went to Mr. Pet's locally. It's not a very well-renowned store for keeping healthy fish. I don't know what farms they get them out of. Not to throw them under the bus, they do have cheap fish. So if you are into cheap fish, make sure that you are doing your part on your end. Do not be putting them in with other fish that you have. Take them home, get a little tank like this, quarantine them. As you can see, quarantine June 1st, it's over. And what did we get? So we got orange Venezuelan Corys and black darter tetras. So I've never heard of black darter tetras. They are super cool though. When I did look them up, they will color up. So these are the black darter tetras. They will color up when they are breeding into almost like a black with rainbows all over them colors. And they are a cave spawner. So you give them a cave and they will attract the female into the cave and then breed inside the cave. He will protect it like a cichlid until they are hatched, and then he will let them go. Super cool behaviors. I thought I'd try them out. And then obviously we got some orange Venezuelan Corys, which are just absolutely stunning. They were an amazing price. I think I paid for 7 black darter tetras and these orange Venezuelans. I think I got 9 of them because that's what all they had. I think it was with tax and everything. And I bought some fertilizer for my planted tanks, and everything together was under 150 bucks. I mean, you're not beating that anywhere else. So these guys, the 2-strip lyre-tailed killies, are doing amazing. I'm gonna take them into the store. I think we're gonna go this weekend and take a bunch of these in. They said they give me 10 bucks a fish for them. And then I'm gonna take a whole bunch of angelfish in. Probably just, I don't know, I'll see. I'm gonna talk to them. This is an orange lyre-tail tank, nothing in it. But I'm gonna talk to them, see if I can get money out of it. They're gonna give me less money than I probably want, but I'm running out of tank space, so. Set up some more egg hatching tubs up top, put some bubblers inside. We got a couple babies that survived while I was gone. I just threw spawning mops in and good enough. But anyway, so one cool thing that happened while I was gone, so these are some of the baby orange super red bristlenose. The males and female, I don't know where they are, but they bred for me. So they love these little tubes. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not with the glare. These tubes are amazing. They don't never breed in these. I'm not too sure why. Maybe they're not old enough yet. But here they are. You got a whole bunch of babies. So when the girlfriend, Amy, pulled them out, I told her to put them in here. They still had their egg sacs, so yolk sacs. So they have these little bubbles under their stomach area. And I told her just leave them alone, let them eat the egg sacs. And as soon as they were gone, we started feeding little pieces of algae wafer. So they're just munching on them now. They're doing real well. I'm going to move them into a tank here, but I got to make some space. And yeah, so more of them on the way. So the red cherry shrimp are doing amazing. There's so many of them in here. They are a gorgeous red color, guys, if you want some beautiful red cherry shrimp. We got them. Some of these almost look like blood red or Bloody Marys. They're doing real well. The guppies are just endless. I don't know if it's just the strain we got or what, but they never predate on each other. I never have that problem. So we just put them in here, they breed. The babies kind of swim at the top, eating food. They get bigger, they go down to the bottom with the adults. So one thing the girlfriend noticed, I don't know if we can see it on here. I'm trying to get a better camera, but it's going to be expensive. end of the day, it's gonna be like $2,000, but I will end up spending the money to get it so you guys get a better visual. But see the spot on the top of her head? So she's about to drop babies, but the girlfriend noticed she's got some sort of spot on the top. And actually looks better now. And I'm not sure if it's fungus or anchor worms. I don't know how the anchor worms would have got in here from upstairs, but you just never know. You know, you think you didn't put anything in here, but even just off your hand, you touch a leaf in the upper tank and you come down here and put your hand in. Who knows, right? But it seems to be getting better. I have gave them anchor worm medication in here. That stuff that I got, I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen, but it seems to actually do really well. It doesn't affect the rest of the tank, which is nice. I didn't notice any kind of change to anything, so I didn't mind just throwing it in here and seeing if that was it. And I also added a little bit of aquarium salt just in case if it was a fungal infection. And I actually pulled her out and spot treated her with an ick medication that also does other kinds of skin infections and things like that. So I don't know if it's from that or the anchor worm medication, maybe a mix of both, but it seems to be getting better and hopefully we can get her all better and doing well. It's always something when you got a fish room, right? So these guys are doing well. You can see the males are starting to color up of the red rainbow fish. I got a bunch of eggs out of there. I'm not sure which one of these guys did it, but yeah, they're all looking real beautiful. Male Bozeman, stunning as always. I raised that guy up from a baby. It's been taking forever, but he's still not anywhere near full size. But he's all flashing up. You don't have a female, buddy. Calm down. And then what else do we got going on? So the panda Corys are doing real well. They seem to get along with the Godiids. There's panda right there. We're kind of switching things up. I'm starting to get more into Corys and plecos. I've bred tons of the Killifish. Now I want to start trying to breed Corys. So my plan here is to grow this moss out. And then hopefully they breed in the moss and we could just colony breed them. That is the plan. So moving down, unfortunately, the other female of the Amiati Killifish has passed away. And then the last couple times I've come home, I wonder if it's the temperature in here. It's been pretty warm. I mean, they should be fine, but it's spiked up to like 31 degrees in here at some point. So the water went up to 28 degrees. I don't think they like that. And it's because of these lights. But I got to just get an AC in here. I've got it set up and everything. I just got to actually hook it up. So that's kind of what's going on there. It's very sad that that one died. I also had to switch out the mops. They weren't breeding in the mops anymore, but it might have been because of the temperature. And then, I don't know if we can see these guys. The puffers just seem to hang out in here and not do anything. What we're thinking is once I set up the tank upstairs, we're going to take them upstairs with us. We're not going to leave them down here. They're always entertaining when they come out, but since they've been up here, they don't really do much and they just hang out in here. So we're going to take them up once I build that tank and they're going to hang out with us. And then this is going to turn back into a breeding tank. So the yellow shrimp that I moved in here are doing well, but they're in 2 tanks. So that's kind of a waste. I think I'm going to pull them out leave them in, but put something else in there too. And then the blue steel killies are doing real well up there. But if there's any fish you guys want out of this fish room, just let me know. You know, all of a sudden if I get an extra pair of something that I'm not really selling, I could still sell it, right? So just get a hold of me, get in contact with me, and we can talk about it. I added my socials in the in the description for my channel. You can get a hold of me on Instagram. We had to switch our name over that's one change that had to happen. I guess there was a company in Edmonton that was called the Planted Tank, and I didn't realize that because they were actually shut down. And I was talking to Darren from April's Aquarium. He was recommending to probably change that because he just said change it. And then once I started looking into it, I think they had a bit of a bad reputation at the very end. I mean, I think a lot of people liked them, but I think some people got screwed over. So I don't want anything to do with that. I want our own fresh start. So we've changed to the Overgrown Aquarium, and we're going to stick with that now. It kind of sucks having to change everything over, but it's still early. We're not a big company. Just doing things out of a garage, right? So better to do it now than later. Well, let's get into some of this stuff. So before I left, I wanted to show you guys, we did that whole plant farm. Let's see some of the results. So this is a couple weeks of growth, 2 weeks of growth. Pretty amazing, doing well. This is the Ludwigia Rubin Red Skeleton. This is just hydrophila of some sort, polysperma, I think. Doing real well. This stuff grows like a weed. Ludwigia puruensis. It's gorgeous, like kind of a dark purple. It looks like it's doing well. Show you some of the tanks here. Look at this stuff, actually, while we're here. So this is the Ludwigia white edge. Starting to get kind of white on the edges. So everything grows weird immersed, and then once you put it in, it'll grow better. I try to keep a very high humidity in here so that once it goes into a tank, that it doesn't melt or do any kind of weird changes to itself. But a plant that does well in a high humidity situation will not change as much as one that was grown immersed like at a farm. So you'll have better changeover from my plants in tubs like this than you would from a farm. The farm ones end up melting back, and then you'll get a different type of growth on your leaves. And then, yeah, see, we've got some Anubias. And then, what's the other one? I'd have to flip it around, the labels on the other one. On the other side, I can't even remember what that is. But we got some cool Anubias. I'm going to set up a whole Anubias and crypt farm here pretty quick. I'm just putting it in here as temporary. So I think what we're going to do is do a little setup in a low shallow tank like that with a bunch of little pots. But I'll show you that on another video. This is an Alternathia, doing real well. Trying to get you guys some red plants. Hydrophila laurentiana, something like that. Super rare. Won't find this anywhere else, maybe online. But you guys should come to me. This is the Labella gigantea. Apparently it's supposed to get big. Seems pretty small to me right now. Yeah, I mean, the plants are doing real well. I can't complain. These lights are killer, but they do make it hot in here. I don't think I'm going to ever have to use a heater again. So we're just working on the water change system here. I just added a whole bunch to the back of these tanks. Still ran out of parts, but I'm still working on it. You can see all these here. But anyways, how this is going to work. So I'm going to change this. It's a black flow preventing little valve thing. But I'm going to turn this up, and it's going to go up over the roof to the water. But so this is where the water is going to come in. Splits here. This one goes up to the water line. This one goes down to the sanitary line. Okay, so it's like your bathroom. You have a sanitary line that'll run out, take the waste away, and the water will bring clean water in. So when this turns on, the water will flow in. these two valves are off right now. So I would turn this on. Water goes down. This one actually goes to the waistline, goes out and leaves. That's off. So now the water's coming down, fills up, goes through here, and goes up into every single tank, filling all the lines that go into every single tank, starts flowing. That'll put everything under siphon. So once I've noticed all the bubbles are gone out of all the tanks, not bubbling anymore, I will shut this off and I will turn this on because everything's under siphon. So now when this water that was all in here starts leaving, it's going to pull all the other water out. It's all going to leave out this tube or this pipe going out. Okay. So all of these are in the tanks about halfway down. I'm going to put little strainers in there, but all the tanks will stop right there. So once I've noticed all the water's out, I shut that off. That stays off. Now we want to fill them up. So this is a water line. So this will go, well, this will probably be off, but I'll turn it back on. So now water's filling to here. This water goes on. Need to exercise those valves or myself. But anyways, it'll start flowing and water will start filling up in each tank. So obviously there's some bigger tanks and some smaller tanks. Everything's going to fill at different increments. So that is where these come into play. So I'm going to, limit the amount of water that goes in the small ones. Full ones will probably be fully open. You know what I mean? So the other thing I was thinking as well is I might actually add like a hose over here, something like I've already been having a hose in here. And I might add, like bring the water in over here, have a hose just for a quick top up if I need it. But that's pretty much the gist of the system and how it's going to work. And I think it'll go really well. It's going to be a little bit of tweaking and tuning and adjusting to make sure it all works properly. I'm not a professional. I'm literally making this up as I go, but I thought it'd be kind of a cool experiment and I'm sure it'll work. I mean, I've done this kind of stuff in the past at work, so I'll make it work one way or another. All right, guys, so we're back in the fish room and the water change system is working. Although, well, you can see some of those are drained. Some of these are not drained as much. They are going down. So the problem I'm having, it seems, and like, for example, that one's draining now, but when I turn the whole system on, all of these tanks here were actually flooding that one. So the lines were coming down, the water was coming down, going down where it was supposed to, but because of the pressure of all these, the head pressure of all these tanks, it was actually shooting up through that little area right there, going to the other side and up into that tank. So these bottom tanks, you can see I got this one off. This one was off, I just turned it back on, but they were getting flooded out. That's why this towel's here. So what I've come up with is I'm going to end up putting check valves on these. So when the water comes in on a check valve, it'll go one way. So I would want it going outwards. So if water is coming with head pressure coming down and wants to push into the tank, it'll stop it from flooding it. So this is the part of the video where I try to explain how I'm going to use check valves to stop the water from going back and filling the lower tanks. But that won't work because I need to put the tanks under siphon. The only thing I've come up with is either give it a bigger pipe for the water to come out of. So the main lines coming down and out, they need to be bigger, meaning I need to change a bunch of the pipe. Or the only other option is do it like every other fish room ever and drill your tanks and have drip lines coming in. And as soon as your drip lines are filling the tanks, it's leaving out of the other pipe. And that's what every other fish room does. We're back outside with the ponds. I just put a rim on this so it doesn't bow out so much. I just cut the lid off the top. Doesn't look very amazing, but that's so fun. I just pulled this out of here. The temperature is almost at 20 degrees in the water. The black tubs, I'm sure, help warm it up during the day, but it is still not warm enough at night. This morning when I checked it, it was about 15 degrees. So once it hits about 20, 18, 20 constantly, then I can start throwing some fish in here. Maybe just some of the more cold water fish. Like I don't think I'd throw the guppies in here quite yet, but we'll see how it goes. I'll monitor maybe another couple weeks. For anybody wondering why we would put fish outside, well, here is mosquito larvae already. So I might actually scoop some of this up and feed it to my fish. But this is going to be amazing food for the fish, and I don't have to feed them. Free food for the fish, right? So should help them out. Hopefully get them breeding. Maybe even eat some of the mosquitoes landing on top. Keep the backyard free of mosquitoes. So the celestial pearl danios have quit breeding for me, and there's just a whole bunch of nanofish in this tank. But it looks like the Gertrude rainbows are breeding in the new setup I got here. Sorry for the glare. Pretty hard to see, but I 3D printed this egg trap. Put some moss on it. And it seems like everybody's breeding in it. It does go up to the pleco tank right now. I'm going to take them out of there because they're probably just going to eat the eggs. But anyways, it did float, so I had to get a suction cup on there. Just zap strapped it on and then built this thing that goes up and in. Seems like everybody's coming over to breed in it, so see how that goes. Amazon puffer tank's looking marvelous. Got a little bit of algae there, but it's pretty natural looking. Just added these. Some Hoya plants that'll grow up, hopefully get flowering. I don't know how these will do. In the back, I put a couple of the bonsai trees that were downstairs growing out and the sensitive plant. I don't know how they'll do, but we'll see. And of course, you got these two little munchkins. Are you cleaning your sister? We're a sweet kitty. But that's where another aquarium is going to go. I'm going to build that one from scratch. And then that'll be the light for it. Coming down, it'll look real cool. I think that'd be kind of a cool display. So we're at the Cory tank, 3 different types of Corys. We got skunk Corys, punctatus Corys, and Julie Corys. We just added an air pump in here, water pump in here. And hopefully this gets them breeding. I'm not sure if they're old enough yet, but we're just feeding them heavy and seeing hopefully right where they're swimming there. I did slow the water down a little bit here, but hopefully right where that water's blasting against that glass, I start seeing some eggs. Hey, morning guys. So we're back in the fish room. We are trying to get the Corys to breed this morning. So currently right now, the temperature of the Corys is at 25 degrees Celsius. What is that Fahrenheit for you Americans? 80 degrees. So what the plan is get the temperature to about 24, 25 degrees. I guess that's what they're normally used to in the wild in the Amazon. And then you got to do that big water change, get the temperature down like 4 degrees, cold water change. And then that should simulate a rain period. And whether or not this works with these fish, I'm not 100% sure. I do have some false Julies in there. I think it might work with them, but I also have some Arcudius Corys and Punctatus Corys, both not well known to breed in captivity. So the goal is get both of those to breed And then the next set should breed much easier. And so what I've done, I've added some Indian almond leaves to bring down the pH in the tank. I'm just going to monitor how this goes, because if it happens, you know, I have it on video. It might not happen, but you never know. And then I've added a little pump in the back. It's just like a little tiny pump, just get water circulating around the tank. And then I've added some other things just to get the pH down. And then we're going to do a big cold water change. And somebody online was saying if you do 5 big cold water changes back to back to back, you might get a spawn out of them. So let's see. Hopefully, next thing you know, right where that pump is blowing, you're going to have some eggs on the glass. So the water parameters for this tank right now are at about 7.2 pH. TDS, I'm not sure. Let's check TDS right now. Okay. TDS is at 88. That's actually pretty good. That's surprising. I was thinking at least 125. But it's doing good. We're gonna let this pump down a little bit more, and then we're gonna hit it with cold water. The guppies seem to do fine in the cold water. I haven't had a problem with it. So I just poured a bit of water in this jar. Let's see what the TDS is of this. 70. So it'll bring the TDS down a little bit. I did get an RO system, a little portable RO unit, so we can bring the water down even more if we need to. But I'm hoping this works. With the Indian almond leaves, it should help as well. But we'll see. Okay, so temperature now is at, I can't see it through the camera, 22-ish. 22 and a half-ish. It's probably still going to go down by the time it's finished mixing. So you've dropped it at least 3 degrees. See how it goes. Hopefully this gets them spawning. Okay, so we just caught out all the angels out of there. I'm sure there's more. I mean, I can see some in there. We'll keep them, though, for private sales if anybody wants some. But here is what 135 angels looks like. They're all like zebra stripe, lighter and darker colors. And then I caught 19 of the Aphyosemion brevatum funge. They're a beautiful killifish. Look at that guy's fins. We still have more of these if anybody wants some, but I'm going to take them to the store. The owner said he'd give me 10 bucks a piece for them. I mean, that's in-store credit, but I mean, I don't pay for food or anything. I need to actually pick up some water conditioner and a whole bunch of things today, frozen food, dry food for the auto feeders, things like that. So this is what pays for it. I mean, as long as the hobby's paying for itself, I think I'm not spending money on it. So I'm not complaining. And I enjoy it. Like, I love doing this. Look at all these cool little fish I made. Okay, so both of these are ready to go. Got some air pumps going. I just picked up one of these. I gotta go buy batteries for it. But it's a portable air pump that you can hang on a bucket. Good for fishing too, apparently. Well, what do you guys think? Should we feed some fish? I think the brine shrimp's ready. like piranhas. So the black pearl killies are doing well. And see some in the back there, in the back right corner. Some right in the left corner. There's another one there. Just gave him brine shrimp. Found another one yesterday in that green tub that I made. So we got 9 total. So this is a Northobranchus retrovi that I bred and raised up. I haven't tried to hatch any more of their eggs. I think there's one other female in here, but she always hides because he's quite a bit bigger than her. I have a hard time finding her. I'd probably pull her out if I could, but I think she hides in the rocks. I saw her the other day up in the hornwort that's in here. I do have a female retrovi in here. Whether or not she is breedable, we will see, I guess. I'm just waiting for him to get old enough. I can't find her right now. I still wish that a lot more people would get into killifish. These are amazing fish. They're a little bit more aggressive, I guess, semi-aggressive, but the colors on the males are just stunning and they make great fish. You just have to learn how to keep them properly. Like keeping this group together in this tank, they do completely fine. If you buy a group of them, they will usually get along and do well together, but keeping just a male and a female, usually they don't do very well. The male will chase her, trying to breed with her, and probably end up killing her because she gets stressed out from him constantly chasing her. So a trio is recommended. Different types of killies are more peaceful as well and do better in community tanks. You got to do your research. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this up. If you got any requests for fish, let me know. Everything's at the Overgrown Aquarium socials and email. So you can find it in the description and we will try to accommodate anybody for anything. Just remember, everything from a local bred fish room is going to be more acclimated to your waters and will do better in your water and you will have healthier fish. So give us a try. Have a great day, guys. Bye.